That was actually the first book of yours I read.
God, and you
And
came back for more? You have no
yes.
one to blame but yourself then. Like
Oh,
you had an out. You were like you could have been one and done and you never had to come back for me again. But
no, but
you
I loved it. And I wanted to bring up the fact that in the first 150 pages, there is more horror that happens than other authors do in an entire book. Like, was that intentional? Like, you sought out to do that? Because this is just on another level, the first few chapters.
Yes, that was 100% intentional. I it's funny when I first started writing it, the middle section, part 2 was ultimately that in my mind had been what the book would be, because that's all I really that was the kind of crux of it, like watching this nuclear family, this kind of like atypical like American family succumb to demonic possession by way of their screens, and my editor, God bless her, was like, this feels a little suffocating. We need to crack open the world a little bit. We need to get into the world and kind of see a more macro view of the world. And that's where part 1 and part 3 came from. Uh, but I, what was it? It was, I'm like thinking of like all of these different movies that, like Evil Dead
Mm.
2, the remakes. Like, there's a certain kind of like hit the ground running and it just never stops. And I wanted that first 100 pages to feel unstoppable. Like I wanted it to feel like it was one large kind of like mounting kind of tension, spring that was just getting coiled tighter and tighter and tighter until it all bursts, snaps.
Yeah, and that I think was absolutely accomplished because I went into it personally like, oh, I think this is a coping mechanism that Clay is giving us for those dreaded Thanksgiving dinner conversations. But it turned into something so much more than that. And so, it sounded like you had a plan for the middle and then you handled the beginning and the end as you went and got feedback.
Yeah, yeah. It's in the rear view at this point in my brain, so I'm trying to think like what came first. But like I lived in that middle section. I was like carving out that middle section, like I like to the kind of you know infinitesimal kind of granular degree, which is why I feel like there's something kind of really like suffocating about that center middle section, and which is why part 3 just feels like such a lark to me, and part 1 feels like such a I don't know, like I just wanted the what is that when you're riding the roller coaster and it's just the like and then like you're off and running.
Yeah, because at the end of part one, it's like, wow, we have a very understanding of how high the stakes are and how much this is affecting people.
Mm-hmm.
How did this all come to be? And then part two just kind of leans into that so naturally. It's like you can't help but wonder how.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because it's really cruel of me, because that center section is just so slow. It's just like so uh, like I think that a lot of readers, not all, but a lot, kind of resist that center section because it's kind of like, oh, we've just gone on this intense trip, and then all of a sudden you're telling us to like back it up however many days, weeks, months, and then watch it slowly, methodically start to kind of like the pace is just so different.
Yes.
And I feel like there's a challenge there, for some readers who, they want to get back on that roller coaster. And I'm like, let's get on the tunnel of love. Let's just go slow and just like make it like,